chosen ones, you've just emerged from the eye of a storm, a grueling federal investigation that would have broken most people, but not you. Against all odds, you survived. Now everything has changed. You're no longer just another name in the system, you've become a top priority target. Federal agents have set their sights on you, and every move you make is under intense scrutiny. Your life is now under review, dissected piece by piece as those who hunt you dig deeper, searching for any sign of weakness or misstep. Before we go any further, take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 50,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This simple action sends a powerful signal, a message of strength and unity that amplifies the energy surrounding this moment. If you're truly a chosen one, you'll stay with this message until the end, because your survival and success depend on the awareness and readiness you build here. This is no longer a game of mere survival, it's a battle for control, a test of your instincts, and a war fought in the shadows. Your reputation is on the line, your closest allies are being questioned, and trust has become your most valuable and most fragile currency. But the stakes are even higher than that. Somewhere within your inner circle, a traitor lurks, quietly leaking your secrets to your enemies. Identifying this threat and neutralizing it is essential if you want to survive and thrive. Now is the time to sharpen your instincts, to outsmart those who chase you, and to build an unbreakable fortress of trust around yourself. Failure is not an option. If you slip, everything you fought for will be erased. But if you succeed, you'll seize control of your destiny and shape the fate of countless others. The real test begins now. Are you ready to dominate the shadows? The federal investigation was a relentless storm that threatened to sweep away everything you had built. Most would have cracked under the pressure, facing countless interrogations, unending surveillance, and ruthless accusations. But you became a master of evasion, slipping through the cracks when others thought you cornered. It wasn't luck, it was relentless focus, a deep understanding of your environment, and a steely resolve that refused to let fear dictate your every move. Every tactic the agents used, wiretaps, informants, data mining, was met with equal cunning. You anticipated their steps, turning their own strategies against them. You created layers of deception so intricate that even the sharpest minds struggled to untangle your trail. Each close call, each near exposure, fueled a growing fire inside you, an unyielding determination to not just survive, but to thrive amidst chaos. What's remarkable is that this escape wasn't just physical, it was mental. You refused to let paranoia consume you, even when the walls seemed to close in. Instead, you turned every setback into a lesson, every threat into an opportunity. The federal investigation was brutal, but you emerged sharper, more vigilant, and infinitely more dangerous than before. And here's the truth. Surviving that storm wasn't just about cleverness, it was about heart. It was about the refusal to be broken, the courage to face the abyss and come out stronger. Your escape wasn't a moment of luck, it was the product of relentless spirit and unwavering will. The path forward isn't easy. The shadows you once slipped through now teem with eyes watching your every breath. But the same fire that carried you through the investigation will fuel your rise in the days ahead. You've survived the worst. Now it's time to dominate. Being placed on the most secretive, high-priority watch lists isn't a badge of honor, it's a declaration of war. You are now the focal point of a vast network of federal agents and intelligence operatives whose singular mission is to track, contain, and neutralize you. The attention isn't just because of what you did, it's because of what you represent, a threat to powerful interests, a wild card that refuses to be controlled. Every communication you make is scrutinized with forensic precision. Every ally you've trusted is now under a microscope, their loyalty tested by those hunting you. You've become the embodiment of disruption to those in power, and that makes you a target in their eyes. They aren't just chasing you, they are desperate to dismantle your entire network and erase the influence you've built. But this priority status also reveals something else. It means you are dangerous. You have struck a nerve, shaken the foundations, and forced the system to take notice. In their eyes, you're no longer a mere person. They see you as a symbol, a threat that needs to be contained before it inspires others. That fear gives you leverage, but it also means the walls are closing in faster than ever. Understanding why you're their top target is key to your survival. It reveals their fears, their vulnerabilities, and the lengths they will go to. And with that knowledge comes power. The power to anticipate their moves, to exploit their weaknesses, and to turn their relentless pursuit into your advantage. Remember, being hunted is brutal, but being the hunted who fights back relentlessly, that's what legends are made of. Your name on the most wanted list is not just a mark of danger, it's a call to action. Imagine living every moment under a magnifying glass, so intense that even your smallest actions ripple into waves of suspicion. Every phone call you make, every message you send, and every step you take is dissected with surgical precision. Federal agents don't just observe, they analyze, predict, and manipulate. They are experts at finding the smallest cracks and exploiting them mercilessly. The surveillance isn't just about your movements. It's psychological warfare. They want to unbalance you, to break your composure, and make you slip. Cameras watch you in public places, digital footprints are tracked online, and your closest contacts are questioned and monitored. You become a prisoner in your own world, forced to think in double and triple layers of caution. This level of scrutiny brings an emotional toll few can comprehend. Paranoia eats at your mind. Every smile, every word feels weighted with potential betrayal. Friends become suspects. Normal routines become risk-filled operations. The constant pressure threatens to isolate you, but surviving under the microscope means mastering control over your emotions, your environment, and your reactions. But with awareness comes opportunity. Understanding exactly what they monitor and how they analyze your behavior allows you to craft responses that mislead, confuse, and buy you precious time. You learn to move like a ghost, present like a shadow, always there, but never truly seen. It's a dangerous dance, but one that you must master to stay ahead. There's a poison within your circle, a silent enemy whose betrayal cuts deeper than any external threat. Trust, once your greatest asset, now feels like a fragile illusion. This betrayer isn't just leaking information, they are unraveling the very fabric of your strength piece by piece. Identifying them is like searching for a shadow in the dark, difficult, perilous, but absolutely critical. Betrayal is more than a breach of trust. It's a blow that shakes your confidence and threatens to destroy your alliances. It forces you to question every conversation, every alliance, every gesture. The traitor thrives in secrecy, masked by loyalty, blending in until the damage is irreversible. The emotional pain of this deception is crushing because the betrayal comes from within, from someone who once stood shoulder to shoulder with you. But uncovering the traitor is not just about suspicion, it's about intelligence and patience. You need to analyze patterns, watch for inconsistencies, and test loyalties without revealing your hand. It requires a delicate balance of aggression, intuition, and restraint, using your instincts as much as your intellect. The cost of failure is catastrophic. The cost of success is survival. This battle within your ranks is brutal, but it's also a testament to your resilience. It forces you to become more discerning, more strategic, and more guarded. The traitor may have started the fight, but it's your strength, vigilance, and resolve that will determine the final outcome. In a world where every whisper might be a trap, and every handshake might hide a dagger, trust becomes your most dangerous gamble. The very people you thought were allies could be weaving webs of lies, working to dismantle you piece by piece. Navigating this labyrinth of deception isn't just a skill, it's a survival imperative. This is not the time for blind faith. Every interaction requires scrutiny. You learn to read between the lines, to detect hidden meanings behind seemingly innocent words. You become adept at masking your intentions while trying to expose others' true motives. The emotional toll is immense. Loneliness creeps in, and the weight of constant vigilance can crush even the strongest spirits. Yet even in this cold landscape, you must find fragments of genuine connection, because while trust is scarce, it is not extinct. The challenge is to build bonds so resilient, they withstand suspicion, forged in shared purpose and tested in fire. These bonds become your lifelines, your shield against isolation, and your foundation for rebuilding. Trust then transforms from a simple belief into a calculated strategy. It's about knowing who to trust, when to trust, and how much to trust. It's a delicate balance between openness and caution, one that you must master if you want to turn this web of deception into a battlefield you can control. Pressure can break or forge you. And in this high-stakes game, your instincts are your most powerful weapon. Under constant threat, the ability to sense danger, read subtle cues, and make split-second decisions can mean the difference between freedom and capture. This toolkit of survival isn't something you're born with. It's crafted through experience, discipline, and relentless self-awareness. Sharpening your instincts begins with deep mindfulness, training yourself to stay calm in chaos and to observe without reacting impulsively. It means trusting your gut, even when logic doubts, and tuning into the smallest details that others overlook. The hum of a whisper, a flicker of movement, the pattern in behavior, these become signals that guide your decisions. Beyond awareness, your toolkit includes adaptability. The world around you shifts rapidly. What worked yesterday may expose you tomorrow. You cultivate the ability to pivot quickly, to think creatively under pressure, and to anticipate threats before they materialize. This agility is your armor against uncertainty. Emotionally, honing your instincts demands courage and resilience. It means pushing through fear, doubt, and exhaustion to maintain clarity. The battlefield is as much mental as it is physical, and those who master their instincts hold the power to rewrite their fate. In a world wired with cameras, drones, and digital eyes, staying invisible feels almost impossible, yet your survival hinges on your ability to move unseen, to leave no trace, and to slip through surveillance networks like a ghost. This is the art of invisibility, an intricate dance of precision, stealth, and calculated risk. The first step is understanding the technology and tactics used against you, knowing where cameras hide, how digital footprints attract, and what patterns surveillance teams follow gives you the upper hand. You learn to disrupt these patterns, varying your routes, changing your routines, and blending into crowds. But invisibility goes beyond physical evasion. It's about information control. You master encryption, use secure communication channels, and create false leads to confuse your watchers. You manipulate perception, planting misinformation that keeps pursuers chasing shadows while you move freely. This constant game of hide and seek is exhausting, but it's also empowering. Each successful evasion fuels your confidence and chips away at your pursuer's certainty. Invisibility isn't just about escaping notice, it's about reclaiming control in a world determined to track your every step. Information is no longer just power, it's survival. In a landscape where every secret can be a weapon, knowledge becomes your greatest defense and your deadliest offense. The ability to gather, analyze, and wield information effectively turns the tide in your favor when stakes are life or death. You become a student of intelligence, constantly absorbing data from myriad sources, trusted allies, intercepted communications, public records, and even the whispers on the street. Each piece of information is carefully vetted, cross-referenced, and stored, building a dynamic picture of your enemy's moves and vulnerabilities. But possessing information is only half the battle. The true mastery lies in how you use it, sharing strategically to build alliances, withholding to protect your mission, and deploying at precisely the right moment to dismantle threats. Information becomes a weapon that cuts through lies, exposes betrayals, and creates opportunities. Emotionally, this power gives you a sense of control in an unpredictable world. When you know more than your pursuers, you hold the initiative, and in this, isolation is a death sentence in your world. The strength you need comes from the people who stand with you, the allies who share your vision, your risks, and your battles. Building this circle isn't just about gathering support, it's about forging bonds so strong that no external force can break them. This process demands rigorous vetting and testing. You must identify those whose loyalty is proven through action, whose commitment endures beyond words. Trust is earned in shared struggles, in sacrifices made quietly, and in moments where vulnerability becomes strength. Together, this circle becomes a fortress, each member a vital pillar in your defense. They provide not just physical protection, but emotional sustenance and intellectual collaboration. In the darkest moments, knowing you are not alone kindles hope and fortifies resolve. Creating this network is a testament to your leadership. It reflects your ability to inspire trust, to foster loyalty, and to unify diverse talents into a single unstoppable force. Your destiny depends on this strength in numbers. In this high-stakes battlefield, hesitation is your enemy. Every decision, no matter how small, carries immense weight. Mastering strategic decision-making means cultivating clarity amid chaos, balancing risk with reward, and committing fully when the moment demands it. You develop a mindset that weighs options quickly but thoroughly, drawing on intelligence, instincts, and experience. It's about seeing several moves ahead, anticipating the responses of your adversaries, and aligning your actions with your ultimate goals. Strategic thinking becomes your compass in a storm of uncertainty. The emotional discipline required is immense. You must silence doubt and fear, trusting your judgment even when outcomes are unclear. You learn to embrace responsibility for your choices, understanding that leadership means owning both victories and setbacks. This mastery transforms you from a reactive target into a proactive force. When every move counts, your ability to strategize decisively shapes not just your survival, but your triumph. Being hunted puts you at a disadvantage, but it doesn't have to keep you there. The shift from target to threat is a pivotal transformation that flips the narrative and seizes control. Instead of running from danger, you become the danger that your pursuers fear. This transformation begins with mindset, no longer viewing yourself as prey, but as a predator. You identify vulnerabilities in your hunters, overconfidence, predictable routines, divided loyalties, and exploit them relentlessly. Every piece of intelligence you gather becomes a weapon aimed at disrupting their plans. Tactically, you adopt offensive strategies, setting traps, spreading misinformation, and striking unexpected blows. This doesn't mean reckless aggression, but calculated moves that force your enemies to question their safety and erode their confidence. Emotionally, this shift empowers you. It replaces fear with control, paralysis with purpose. When you become the threat, the hunters become wary, and the balance of power tilts in your favor. The psychological pressure you face is immense. Constant suspicion, isolation, and threat chip away at your peace of mind. Mental fortitude becomes your anchor, the invisible strength that steadies you when everything else feels unstable. Building this resilience requires daily practice. You cultivate mindfulness to stay present, techniques to manage stress, and rituals that restore your energy. You learn to separate fact from fear, refusing to let paranoia cloud your judgment. Your inner dialogue shifts from doubt to affirmation. You remind yourself of your strengths, your purpose, and the battles you've already won. This mental armor shields you from despair and keeps you focused on what matters. Embracing mental fortitude doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means acknowledging them without being controlled by them. It's this calm within the storm that allows you to navigate relentless suspicion with clarity and strength. Living under unceasing watch is a burden few can understand. The weight of knowing that every step might be recorded, every word could be used against you, adds an invisible chain to your freedom. This constant vigilance reshapes how you experience the world. Simple pleasures and unguarded conversation, a walk without fear, become luxuries. You develop habits of hyper-awareness, scanning environments for threats, assessing who might be watching, and calculating the consequences of every action. This watchfulness exacts an emotional toll. It breeds exhaustion, loneliness, and a pervasive sense of being hunted. Yet it also sharpens your senses and discipline, transforming vigilance into a survival skill. Balancing this burden means creating moments of reprieve, safe spaces where you can lower your guard, recharge, and reconnect with your humanity. It's a delicate balance between caution and living fully, even when the eyes never leave you. In your world, truth is a weapon, and lies are shields. Protecting your mission means mastering the art of secrecy, knowing what to reveal, when, and to whom. It means weaving a tapestry of truths, half-truths, and deception that keeps your adversaries guessing. This isn't about manipulation for manipulation's sake. It's a calculated necessity born from survival. Every secret guarded is a victory. Every lie crafted is a shield that deflects attack. You become an architect of information, building barriers that protect what matters most. The emotional weight of secrecy is profound. It isolates you, demanding sacrifices in honesty and openness. But it also forges your resolve, binding you closer to your purpose and sharpening your focus on the mission's success. In this hostile world, secrets and lies aren't just tactics, they are lifelines. They keep you moving forward when transparency would mean destruction. At the end of this journey lies a simple truth. Failure is not a choice. Everything you fought for, every sacrifice made, demands that you rise above the chaos and claim your destiny. This is the moment where survival transforms into triumph. Thriving under such pressure requires more than skill. It demands unwavering belief in your purpose. You draw strength from every hardship endured, every enemy outsmarted, and every ally who stands beside you. Your path is forged in fire, and your spirit is unbreakable. This destiny is not given, it's taken, fought for with relentless determination. You become a force of nature, unstoppable and resolute, shaping not just your future, but the fate of countless others who depend on your success. As the real test begins, remember, you don't just survive, you dominate. Your legacy starts now. In the deadly game you're playing, anticipation is your greatest weapon. It's not enough to react. You must predict. Every move your pursuers make reveals a pattern, a rhythm you can learn to read and exploit. Becoming a master strategist means understanding not just what your enemies are doing, but why, their fears, their routines, their blind spots. They all become pieces of a puzzle you must solve before they even realize you're playing. Anticipating their actions requires intense observation and sharp intuition. You track subtle signals, a sudden change in communication patterns, an unexplained absence, or even the smallest hesitation in a conversation. These clues tell you what's coming next, giving you precious seconds to prepare or redirect the flow. It's a mental chess game where you hold the power to force your opponent's hand. But the real art lies in deception. You don't just anticipate, you manipulate. By planting false information and creating distractions, you lead your pursuers into traps of their own making. Their confidence becomes your weapon, their overreach, your opportunity. This dynamic dance keeps you ahead, in a world where falling behind means certain doom. Emotionally, this anticipation sharpens your focus and calms your nerves. Knowing what to expect reduces fear and builds a sense of control. You transform anxiety into empowerment, turning uncertainty into a clear path forward. It's not just survival, it's mastery. Ultimately, staying one step ahead isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset that transforms fear into power, chaos into order. In this ruthless arena, the future belongs to those who can see it first. Silence is often mistaken for weakness or uncertainty, but in your world, silence is a fortress. It's the ultimate form of control, a weapon more powerful than any words you might utter. When you choose silence, you withhold information, denying your enemies the ammunition they crave. You become an enigma, a ghost whose intentions cannot be read or predicted. There's a profound emotional strength in silence. It demands discipline and restraint. Every urge to explain, justify, or argue must be resisted. Silence speaks louder than words. By inviting your enemies to fill the void with their own fears and assumptions, their uncertainty becomes your advantage as they stumble in the dark, trying to interpret what you refuse to reveal. Strategically, silence forces patience. It gives you time to observe, to plan, and to strike when the moment is right. It's a protective shield that guards your true thoughts and motives, safeguarding your mission and your people from exposure. In an age of constant noise and oversharing, silence is revolutionary. Yet silence also has a psychological impact on allies and enemies alike. To your allies, it can signal calm and confidence, reassuring them that you are in control even when the storm rages. To your enemies, it's a source of frustration and fear, because silence often conceals the deepest strength. Mastering silence is mastering yourself. It is the pause before the storm, the space where power gathers and is unleashed. In your world, what you don't say can be as deadly as any secret weapon. No one wins alone, especially not in a world where trust is fragile and danger is constant. Building a network of loyal, reliable allies is your lifeline, but it's also an intricate art. This network is not just a group of friends, it's an interconnected web of strength, information, and influence that supports and protects you at every turn. Creating such a network requires more than charisma, it demands discernment. You must be able to see beyond surface loyalty to identify those who will stand firm when tested. This means watching for consistency in actions, patterns of reliability, and shared values that bind people together, even when trust is scarce. Your network also thrives on communication, clear, secure, and honest when possible. It becomes a living organism, growing stronger with each connection and evolving as threats shift. Information flows in all directions, creating a web of protection and opportunity that your enemies can't penetrate. Emotionally, this network provides more than security. It offers hope and resilience. Deception is rarely loud or obvious. It thrives in the spaces between words, in the pauses, the slips, and the tiny inconsistencies that most overlook. Mastering the subtle language of deception means learning to hear what isn't said as clearly as what is spoken. It's a skill that turns whispers into warnings and half-truths into vital intelligence. This art begins with heightened observation. You watch facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice, noting any mismatch between what someone says and what their eyes reveal. Lies are often betrayed by hesitation or unnatural calm, signals that can give you a critical edge in discerning friend from foe. Beyond observation, understanding deception means interpreting context, knowing the pressures someone faces, their motives, and what they stand to gain or lose. This deeper understanding transforms suspicion into insight, allowing you to act with precision rather than paranoia. Emotionally, navigating deception is draining but necessary. It forces you to temper empathy with skepticism, balancing trust with caution. You become a detective of human behavior, piecing together fragments to reveal hidden truths. In a world of lies and half-truths, reading between the lines is your lifeline. It transforms chaos into clarity and suspicion into strategic action. Leadership in the shadows is a heavy burden. It's not glamorous or easy. It's a relentless responsibility, where every decision carries consequences that ripple far beyond yourself. You are the anchor for others, the one who must remain steady even when the ground shakes beneath your feet. The price of power is often solitude. True leadership demands that you shoulder the weight of doubt, sacrifice, and sometimes betrayal alone. You become the keeper of secrets that can destroy or save lives, and the bearer of choices that can mean victory or ruin. That emotionally, this burden can be overwhelming. The pressure to protect your allies, maintain your mission, and outsmart enemies never lets up. But within this challenge lies profound strength. Leadership reveals resilience you didn't know you had, and pushes you to grow beyond limits. Effective leaders in this world learn to share the load, building trusted deputies and empowering others. Yet the ultimate responsibility always rests with you, and carrying it with honor defines your legacy. Leadership here is a test of character, endurance, and heart. It's a path few choose, but those who do shape destinies. Operating in the shadows means working with limited resources and constant scarcity. Every asset, money, information, safe houses, contacts must be managed with ruthless efficiency. Wasting even the smallest advantage can cost you dearly in a fight where the margin for error is razor thin. The shadow economy isn't just about finances, it's about leveraging relationships, information, and influence to create value. You learn to barter favors, trade intelligence, and turn small opportunities into strategic gains. Creativity becomes your currency, turning scarcity into advantage. This economy demands foresight and discipline. You plan for shortages, build redundancies, and prioritize critical needs over wants. Every decision about resource allocation becomes a calculated move in a larger game of survival. Emotionally, working within scarcity teaches patience and humility. It forces you to appreciate every contribution, respect every asset, and avoid impulsive risks that could exhaust your resources. Mastering this shadow economy ensures you stay equipped and ready, no matter how dark the world grows. Crisis is the ultimate test, a moment when everything you've built threatens to collapse. But within that crucible lies opportunity. Pressure melts away illusions and forges raw strength, resilience, and clarity that no calm day can produce. Facing crisis means confronting fear head-on. Your heartbeat races, doubt gnaws at your mind, and the stakes feel insurmountable. But it's precisely in this chaos that true leaders emerge. The ability to stay grounded, to focus on immediate actions, and to inspire calm amid panic becomes a beacon for others. Crisis also reveals character, yours and others. It uncovers hidden weaknesses and unexpected strengths, forcing rapid adaptation and hard decisions. The lessons learned here become the foundation for future triumphs. Emotionally, surviving crisis builds an unshakable confidence. You carry forward the knowledge that no storm is too fierce, no enemy too powerful. Each crisis survived makes you stronger, more determined, and ready for what comes next. The crucible burns hot, but it also tempers you into something greater than you imagined. Much of your fight happens unseen, in whispered conversations, encrypted messages, and subtle manipulations behind closed doors. This invisible war is as critical as any physical confrontation, demanding a unique set of skills and a keen understanding of human nature. The emotional toll is profound. Fighting a war that no one acknowledges can feel isolating and thankless. Yet these unseen battles often decide the fate of the visible ones. Success here undermines enemies before the first shot is fired. To prevail, you must embrace ambiguity and trust your instincts. The invisible war is waged in shadows, but its victories shine brightly when the dust settles. Keeping secrets is a necessary art, but it comes at a cost. carrying truths that cannot be shared, isolates you, creating a heavy emotional burden. The weight of silence presses down, making every moment feel lonelier and every choice more difficult. This burden forces you to develop extraordinary resilience. You learn to compartmentalize pain and fear, to mask vulnerability behind strength. The inner conflict between what must be hidden and what yearns to be spoken becomes a constant battle. Yet this silence protects more than just yourself. It shields those you care about and preserves the mission. The sacrifices you make in silence are often unseen, but they are vital to survival. Emotionally, the price of silence teaches profound empathy and depth. It sharpens your understanding of sacrifice and the true cost of leadership. In your world, deception isn't just a tactic, it's a performance. You wear masks, tell stories, and play roles that keep you alive. But the challenge is maintaining your core identity beneath the layers of lies and facades. This dance requires skill and emotional intelligence. You must convincingly inhabit different personas while staying grounded in your true purpose. Losing yourself in the performance can be fatal, but so can being predictable. Balancing authenticity with deception requires relentless self-awareness. You learn to read others while controlling your own reactions, staying composed even when the stakes threaten to overwhelm you. Yet this dance is draining. It blurs the line between truth and illusion, often leading to deep isolation. Still, mastering it is the only way to survive in a world that demands constant vigilance. The past is another battlefield, where mistakes linger and lessons are carved into memory. Clinging to guilt or regret only weakens you. Freedom comes when you break those chains, carrying forward wisdom and strength instead of shame. This process demands brutal honesty. You must confront failures directly, extract their lessons, and forgive yourself in order to grow. To dwell on what went wrong is to blind yourself to what could still be possible. Though painful, this journey is also liberating. Releasing the weight of old errors renews hope, fuels determination, and transforms scars into badges of experience. By breaking free, you reclaim your power and lay the foundation for a future where mistakes serve as stepping stones rather than anchors. But every victory carries its unseen costs. The sleepless nights, the fractured bonds, the quiet sacrifices that never make the record. These hidden tolls give your story depth. They reveal the human side of the struggle, the fears, the hopes, and the regrets that shape every choice. Victory is always bittersweet. To endure its costs demands resilience and acceptance. You learn to honor what has been lost while cherishing what remains, holding to this balance when the path grows darkest. In doing so, your empathy deepens, your sense of purpose sharpens, and still, fear walks with you. Yet fear need not be weakness. Understood, it becomes fuel, sharpening awareness and unlocking strategic clarity. The transformation begins with acceptance, with acknowledging fear without surrendering to it. You learn to trace its roots, separate illusion from reality, and channel its energy into focus. This mastery builds calm under pressure. It turns vulnerability into strength, unpredictability into resilience. In a world where hesitation means death, fear when mastered becomes your edge. Equally vital is trust, fragile yet indispensable. It is built not on words but on consistency, vulnerability, and shared trials. Trust is the bond that holds a mission together amid chaos. To create it, you must risk yourself. You must show weakness, share burdens, and offer loyalty with no guarantees. This emotional courage forges ties strong enough to withstand even the greatest strain. Trust is not static. It evolves, demands forgiveness, requires patience. In dangerous times, it is spoken not in promises but in deeds, and in those deeds lies lasting strength. There will come a point when safety is no longer an option, when the final move demands risking everything.